Hello guys, Omni here. It's turning out to be quite the week for Kevin Feige. We got a major announcement from earlier this morning, but we also had one earlier this week that we haven't had a chance to talk about here on the channel just yet. So I wanted to go ahead and start with that one. Earlier this week, it was reported that Kevin Feige would be taking a little bit of a vacation from the MCU and heading over to Lucasfilm to produce his own Star Wars film. Now, we know that Star Wars, he's a huge fan of it. It's one of his passion projects and dreams to work on a Star Wars movie. We don't really know a whole lot about the details behind this other than he's just going to be producing a Star Wars movie. We don't know whether it's going to be a standalone film or linked to the existing deals that we know they have going on with Benioff and Weiss and Rian Johnson. Not a lot of details at this moment, but it does raise a lot of questions because Disney, as well as public reception to Kathleen Kennedy's leadership over at Lucasfilm, because up until this point, she has been the lead producer on every live-action Star Wars movie since Disney acquired the studio. And reception, like I said, has been mixed, both publicly and within the company. So for them to bring an outside producer who's had such monumental success and allow him to have full reins of his own movie really kind of makes you wonder if there's some underlying meanings behind it. Is this like, are they bringing him in to maybe put some pressure on Kathleen Kennedy to maybe motivate her to right her ship? Or is this a way of silently handing over the reins? Now we can put on our tinfoil hats and go one way or the other, or this could just be as simple as a reward from Disney to allow the head of Marvel to do something he's wanted to do his whole life. Kind of a little bit of a treat and a reward for what he's done with the Infinity Saga up until this point, building the MCU from the ground up. It could be something as simple as that, or it could be something along the lines as what Warner Brothers did with Zack Snyder, is they kept his name on things but kept slowly pushing him out. We do know that earlier last year that Kathleen Kennedy herself said that she would be stepping away from the live action film. She wouldn't be stepping down as CEO of Lucasfilm, but she was going to be hiring someone to be dedicated to lead and head the live action division of Lucasfilm and head those films. So she was taking a step away from having such a involved hand in the making of the Star Wars franchise going forward. So there's a lot of different angles and perspectives you can look at the story from. And I really want to know your guys' thoughts on that situation. Do you think it's just something as simple as them allowing Kevin Feige to go into this other studio to have some fun, or is there something else going on in the background? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below as we move on to the next story. It was announced earlier this morning. We've talked about this quite a lot over the past couple of weeks. It seems that silently in the background, in just the shadowy layers of these big corporations, Disney and Sony finally came to an agreement. And the fact that we haven't heard anything for quite some time regarding this situation has been pretty interesting. I was pretty solid that we weren't going to see this at least for a while, because Sony themselves have announced just more and more things that they're working on within their Spider-Verse. The Madam Web movie, Silk, all kinds of stuff. Venom 2, a Spider-Verse 2, a all-female Spider-Verse, again, Madam Web, as well as announcing and confirming that they were going to have Spider-Man show up in Venom 2, as well as Morbius. Now, with Disney signing back on to this deal, what we know about the deal so far, as it's being reported by Variety, is that they've come to an agreement to allow Disney to provide 25% of the budget of the funding for the upcoming Spider-Man movies, but they will also be getting a 25% cut of the profits, which is a huge bump from what they were getting before. Right now, it's only being reported that Spider-Man will be making one MCU produced appearance in the future. What that's going to be, we don't know yet, because none of that's been added to the slate just yet. But Kevin Feige will be aiding in the production of Sony's upcoming Spider-Man Tom Holland movies. So that's really interesting how this is all going to play out. One little line from Kevin Feige himself about the whole situation is like, he mentions that as Sony's Spider-Verse grows, that there's no knowing what the future might hold for this franchise, for this relationship. So before, with the previous Sony Disney deal, Tom Holland's Spider-Man couldn't play in the other Spider-Man movies or plans that Sony had been laying out. So what does this mean? Does this mean that as they grow the Spider-Verse, are they saying that they're willing to incorporate the Sony's increasingly expanding Spider-Man plans into the MCU? Are we going to see Venom fold into the MCU? Are we going to see Morbius fold into the MCU? What does this mean? How long is this relationship going to go? Is this going to... It really raises a lot of questions, because honestly, I was looking forward to see them expanding the Spider-Verse on their own and see if they could actually pull this off. As much as I was also kind of hoping one way or the other, one would fail and they would see that they needed one or the other, like whether or not Disney's MCU started to fall off and they were like, well, maybe we should get Spider-Man back in here to raise morale. Or, Sony, the reverse with Sony's Spider-Man not doing so hot, and then, oh, maybe we need Kevin Feige to actually make this work. How's that all going to pan out and go from there? So it's a lot of questions up in the air at this point. So I want to know what you guys think. Let me know down in the comments below. I would love to know your all's take on this. What, do you want to see Spider-Man play with Venom and all these other franchises? Do you want to see those franchises incorporated into the MCU? What film do you think you're going to see Spider-Man pop up into the MCU with here in the future? Let me know your guys' thoughts down in the comment below. I would love to know. We can carry on the conversation after the video. And if you like this video, make sure to support the channel by liking, commenting, and subscribing. Thank you guys for tuning in. I will catch you guys in the next video. Take care, everybody.